You can also make a half rose with a tip 104. You're going to start by piping a larger bottom petal, because then you're going to pipe a rosebud on top of this larger bottom petal, just like that. So again, you just want to make sure that when you pipe that first petal, you make it wide so that you can fit a rosebud on top. And then you're going to come and pipe 2 additional petals, one on each side, and then 1 large petal down around the base. This is obviously a technique you want to wait and do once you've mastered piping just a simple rosebud before you start building, a half rose on your cake. Okay, and let me show you again from a different angle. I want you to be able to see how wide I make that first bottom petal, because I then need to pipe a rosebud on top of that so that you can get, the layers of petals like you would have on a rose. And then, you're going to come down from the sides at an angle to do these other petals, and then 1 big wide petal down at the very bottom to complete it. If you find that you're struggling piping the rosebud, I do have a separate video that shows you just how to pipe rosebuds. And once you've got that technique down, I really don't think you'll have any trouble piping this half rose. In fact, if you struggle with making roses using a flower nail, then this will probably be a lot easier, because you don't have the added work of having to turn the flower nail as you're squeezing the icing out of the bag like you do with a traditional rose. And as you can see, it looks like a rose, especially once you get the calyx and the stem added. And just like with the simple rosebud, I'm using a round tip number 3. I'm just piping some lines to make the calyx, and then it's a shell motion that I'm using to pipe the rose stem. And that's all there is to making a half rose.